on the fishmobile. So I've just snapped off the tip end of the carbon rod again in the window. So I decided to do some hangers here, which are pretty basic, using the coat racks and the back mounts back here. So looks awesome though. So and then to get this off, you just do a simple unraveling, and she's off. So I like it. Okay, so I'll try some higher up stuff. I haven't been here all season, so I'm curious to see how it might fish. Should be some decent brookies here. See you in a bit. Well folks, this has got to be one of the most beautiful places on earth. A small stream, not super hot temperatures. The water looks low, so I'm going to go with this really light 15. And this beginning section is almost a bit of just walk it through, because there's just not a lot of fishable area in the beginning. I mean, I'll be throwing casts, but I'm not certain that. Oh, what do we got? Piece of stick. So I've had a lot of people asking me casting questions, and they're talking about their lure fouls up a lot when they cast it. So if you're using a heavier model like I do, or even if you're not really, spinners have momentum that's affected by your cast technique. And so I have a couple of tips to prevent you from having this get snarled around there. And the first tip is use a snap. Single snap, no swivel on braid. And it gives just that little bit of distance that is an insulator against the tiniest tangles. It does, I think, a little bit of a preventive effect. Okay, that's number one. So then tip two on not having this tangle is to do a thing that I call hand braking. And so when you see me casting, I'm opening the bail, right? And then I'm controlling this with my hand like that for exactly where I want it to drop. And then I usually flip the bail back over by hand, okay? And it's extremely important that you do that, because if you use this auto bail, if you reel it to have it click and snap shut, you're going to have problems with your spinner. It's going to have a sudden movement, and if you wait until it sinks in the water too far, it's likely looped, and when you pull it, it just tangles up. So very important tip there. And so the final tip I have is you have to develop an underhand cast. If you are doing that kind of motion and you're fishing for trout, you're going to be wildly inaccurate most likely, and you're not going to have the finesse needed to fish a spinner, let alone fish one without tangling it up, because it's that overhand loop that sets the spinner into direct momentum, and it's going to land head first. Okay, that's why the hand braking works so well. It's going to land head first, and if it lands head first and gets an unlucky wrap, or you happen to let it sink all on its own, just letting it drift, it's going to tangle. So extremely important to consider that when you're out there fishing, of what technique are you using, and you need an underhand cast. And an underhand cast is, you'll see, I'll make a backwards circle and I'll put this cast pretty much where I want to put it, right? And in that case then, the momentum of the lure is no longer the head of the lure. Momentum is the hook end when you do that underhand cast. So it snags far less. Oop, there's a little guy. Haha. Very little guy. Yeah, so it does all of that on its own makeup. So, so folks, there's my tips for trying to end that lure tie-up with your braid. Not seeing shit. You know what? I think I'm just going to walk back. We're going to go on to plan B. Okay, folks, so this is how it works. You get in here, and you thread that, and then you carefully get under, and just turn those plastic ties, and that's it. So you can see it's on the hook and safely secured. There's our brookie. All right, we got a fish, folks. It wasn't a skunk, but man, it was a mighty terrible outing so far. We'll see if we can't turn that around. That guy's fat. A little brookie, about 8. Just barely a nibbler. He might get off. Another small brookie. Hey, at least that's a second fish today in the same place. Another cute pink one. Let's see what we got right here. There's a nicer brookie. And a full-on bite. There's a nice brookie though. Goes right at about 11.5. Well, I tell you folks, it's been hard to find fish today. Today to me had the makings of an awesome situation, but it's just not panned out. And that's the way it is. Can deal with it, but I have a wedding next week. My son is getting married, and I took the following week off, so I'll be up north. And we'll be dealing with some bigger fish, hopefully. That would be the plan anyway. Just going to get down here to make a cast. There's just not much flow here, which makes me think that there's a big beaver dam back there. Well, and here we have another spot, different stream. I don't know what's going on today, but fishing gods are not in alignment, folks. There's a brownie. That was the brown that came down. Easy, buddy. Well, fish anyway. So I didn't get skunked in any of the places I've been at today, but low numbers, low bite. so I don't know what that all means. There's a little fish. A little brown. And a pliers will help me get this guy out with no trouble. Just a little guy. There's a little fish. There he goes. He's got a twin with him. That may be his partner. There's a cute one. Nine-inch brown. There's a fish. Brown. Snuck out from under that log. Get my hand wet. Yeah, right at about 9, I'd say 8. He's off. About a 10-inch brown, I'd say. Oh, and there he goes. Pretty rambunctious dude. There he goes, right in front of me. Here's a decent fish. Ooh, look out. There's a decent fish. Nicest one of the day. Yeah. That's the best brown today, about a 14-incher, I'd say. Check here. That fish does in fact go 14 and a half. Nice fish. That's a little brown, I think. Yep. Just a cute little brown. Not great. Not great here, folks. There's a nicer brown. Nicest one of the outing so far. Ooh. And there he goes. He flipped himself right out of the net, folks. Looked to me to be about 17, I'd say. Well, looky what we got here. A beaver dam. That is going to be silty on the other side, but I hope it's holding some big fat brookies. This dam isn't holding back much water anymore, but it's holding back some. Looks like about a foot of elevation. There's just a little brookie. He's going on the other side. No. Decent brown. Yeah, that's 12-inch brown. Maybe a little more, 12 and a half. Awesome. Oh, there's a nice fish. Yeah, not that nice, but big. They're colorful, thick. Not a giant, I thought he was bigger. At least that was a hit. Yeah, this is just a super thick, boisterous fish. Look at how dark it is. Beautiful. That one is about 14 and a half or so. There he goes. Brown. Just a little yellow brown. There's a fish. Rambunctious. He looks square in the jaw. Yeah, there's a nice 12.5, 13-inch brown trout. Cool beans. That's a little brookie. Okay, skinny. Skinny, but colorful. Cute, cute. Lots of small fish. Just a little brown. Brown. Little brown. A 6-7 incher. Yeah, so that's it. Well, folks, overall pretty rough. I think it was 5, maybe 6 different spots today. The first stops, 1 fish, 2 fish, some followers. At least here a bite did settle in and a lot of fish following, so I don't know what's going on. There's something with the bite at this time of year. I thought with clouds all day and pretty decent temperatures that the bite would be hot, but not really. But this happens. It's the way it is. So looking forward to the week after next week. I'll be up north and get a couple days in for lake run fish. So looking forward to that, and thanks for watching Wisconsin Trout Fishing, and happy fishing.